that feeling of feeling special, especially at this kind of level, at the luxury level where you're looking at an average per night, you're looking at $500 to $1,000 a night. People are happy to pay that if they feel special. People want to feel that the extra mile is going to be made for them because
for them.
that's what they're paying for. But it's literally that's what they're paying for. And so that's something that has to be done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the only way to ensure that that is done, not just in how other people are treating people, but even things like, are the door handles polished? Is there dust under the carpet? Is the phone, where the little phone is placed, is it polished? Is the iPad in the room working? Every single thing has to be curated so that each guest feels an individual level of care. They don't feel like they're coming off on an express line. They don't feel like part of a whole. They feel like this room, this suite, this stay has been catered to everything I could possibly want.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, folks. Welcome back to the show. Today's guest is an investor in the hospitality space in Manhattan, ultra competitive, right? Focusing on hotels, restaurants, specifically in Manhattan. Please welcome Ashay Mordi. Ashay, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
I'm glad to have you on here. And it's also exciting for me personally because I like to think that there's kind of some levels to the real estate game. And being in Manhattan in the hospitality space has got to be one of the most competitive areas and then most competitive asset class you could possibly be involved in. How did you get involved in hospitality in Manhattan?
Okay, so interesting. So first of all, you're right. It is a very competitive space. However, as with anything, there are different segments in which there's always opportunity. So for myself personally, my background is finance and dealing with an emerging market fund, dealing with clients generally from the Middle East, from Africa. Generally invest in regular financial markets, but also hard assets. And for myself, I have always wanted to enter the hospitality space. I have a partnership in a restaurant, a proper downtown restaurant here called Spinas. So I've always liked that space. When the opportunity came for the hotel called the Washington, downtown, the opportunity came for that to come to sell. So I thought, okay, this is an opportunity. If we can acquire this asset and run it properly, this is an opportunity to get into the hospitality space. So, we did our analysis, took a good look at the hotel, realized what we can do with the space, consulted with my partners. I have amazing partners, which I think is the same as any successful business. You're only as good as your team. You're only as good as your partners. So, I have really successful partners who have been in the hospitality space for decades. And this is their wheelhouse. The gentleman who we're buying the property from, Ashay Mordi, he is a major New York real estate player. He controls 20 million square feet of real estate in New York. And, just for context, that's like controlling a town the size of East Orange in Manhattan. Yeah, so
That's right.
yeah, he's a huge so there's a wealth of experience there. And so, and then with them we're able to find out what, if any, issues with the hotel and how we can fix them. We're able to then look at what the strategy is that we want to go with the hotel and how we want to take it. And this is what from our perspective, when you look at the New York hospitality market.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
New Yorkers and people who come to New York, they come to New York is not big on space. No one goes to New York because they're looking for a massive room or a massive space or an expanse. People come to New York for an experience. People come to New York for an experience and a feeling that they have been to what some people might argue is the most iconic city in the world. It is definitely in the top 5. It's definitely top 5 most iconic, most legendary cities in the world. So, and that's what New York conveys. So what is it that you have to do?
I want to ask you about these deals. So I didn't tell you this before hopping on here, I don't believe, but I actually grew up in northern New Jersey, about 28 miles from Manhattan. It was a totally different world, though, because as you know, I mean, 28. I'm a Texas licensed realtor, but 28 miles in Texas is not the same as 28 miles on the East Coast. So
that's
it was basically like another world from where I lived in New Jersey to Manhattan. In Manhattan, when you're looking at these deals, you mentioned, there's maybe some type of mismanagement or some type of distress. What are some factors to you that would indicate, okay, maybe there's an area where we can add some value, either by force appreciating it or by creating better systems, processes, and management?
Well, again, I think you've mentioned it there. The first, as you said, first thing, identifying the problem of distress. In many cases, what you're seeing is things that either undercapitalized, underutilized, or just badly run, right? And so when you have any one of those things within the hospitality industry, you are eventually going to run into problems, right? So if you have a tenant who has been mismanaging your assets, a lot of hotel buildings are tenanted. So tenanted out to a Marriott franchise or boutique franchise. So if those tenants do not run the hotel as should be, after 2 years, those problems mount up and mount up and mount up. Or if when you run the hotel, you do not keep a good percentage, usually about 4% of all revenues, for costs that will come. The elevator stop working, you have to fix that immediately. That's a $500,000 expense.
That's right.
If your extraction fund goes right, it's another $500,000. And those two things can go on the same day. And if you don't have $1 million ready to fix it right then, you enter further problems. And there's always fittings and furniture. It's a hotel. People are coming and going. Something is broken or destroyed and needs to be replaced every single day.
I want to ask you about some of the difficulties involved, specifically with hotels. I'm a person who loves to travel. I live in Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. I've lived in Australia, lived in Texas, lived in New Jersey. Those might as well be two separate countries, honestly.
Those are very different.
And so one of the things that I've noticed is that you can have hotels, even under the same banner, but that are managed differently. And so you could have a totally different experience at one location versus another. And so you really have to know, like, hey, is this a good location? Are things working? When you're going in and when you're looking at these deals, it's hard to say from like an X's and O's perspective, just looking at it on paper, if everything's working. So I'm imagining it's very much boots on the ground that you're having to go either yourself or one of your partners and
Oh,
literally analyze the hotel space, the management, and everything.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I like to say it's a contact sport. Hospitality is a contact. It is, you have, as you mentioned, boots on the ground. So and that's why we are focusing initially on the New York area. I have to see every single property. I have to look at it. We have to, even once it's up and running, we have to be there. We have to see how each and everything runs, even within the individual staff. How staff members fit together matters more in hospitality than most other industries.
Yep.
Because your job, all of our job in this business is, as you're walking in, our job is to make the customer feel special, right? And so all ego has to be checked at the door. And that feeling of feeling special, especially at this kind of level, at the luxury level, where you're looking at an average per night, you're looking at $500 to $1,000 a night. People are happy to pay that if they feel special. You know, they don't need to feel. Forget even disrespect. People want to feel that the extra mile is going to be made for them because that's what they're paying for. But it's literally that's what they're paying for. And so that's something that has to be done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the only way to ensure that that is done, not just in how other people are treating people, but even things like, are the door handles polished? Is there dust under the carpet? Is the phone, where the little phone is placed, is it polished? Is the iPad in the room working? Every single thing has to be curated so that each guest feels an individual level of care. They don't feel like they're coming off on an express line. They don't feel like part of a whole. They feel like this room, this suite, this stay has been catered to everything I could possibly want.
Do you have a background in hospitality that you're pulling from, or are you having to learn a lot of this through connections and through your business partners and people who've run?
Well, both.
You've got finance, right?
Well, my background is finance, but I have financed quite a few hospitality projects. So there's an area that we've always put money into. But again, what is invaluable is the information and the knowledge that I get from my partners and people who have actually been operating these assets for years. Their input is what matters. So that is really important. Someone I know, he has a hotel on the Upper East Side, part of a group. And I'm not missing names, but I haven't spoken to him about this yet. But he recently turned down an offer in excess of 10 figures for his hotel. And that was when just last year he refinanced for lower 9 figures. And within a year, he's turning down an offer in excess of 10. And he's always said, you have to pay attention to every little detail, because the smallest of details, the only people who are going to notice are you and your guests. It's like, get good people to manage the day-to-day. And unlike other businesses, you have to make sure you are looking at the minutiae and get people to manage the day-to-day, but make sure that the minutiae, because the only people who notice that little minutiae thing, the dust under the carpet, is you and your guests.
I want to ask you about the space in general from a thousand view. When you're looking at hospitality in Manhattan in general, is it a lot of people that have a very much hospitality focused background who are getting involved, or are you seeing private equity come in and formulate teams and acquire some of these properties and then build out their own, hospitality arm?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
So it's a combination. It's a bit of the wild, wild west because Manhattan hospitality is so vast. It's arguably, on a head count basis, it is on par with Las Vegas in terms of its depth. It is such a large focus, one, because of the number of visitors that come into New York, and two, the amount of day-to-day activities that take place within hospitality establishments that in other cities do not. So it's such a large area. So private equity, being private equity, comes in anywhere there's opportunity. Private equity is going to follow.
Yeah.
However, for what private equity likes proven models. They like things that have been going for time. And when you're getting to the hospitality space, once something is doing well consistently, you can get much cheaper money privately, which is what people tend to do. So you have a significantly higher number of independent operators in terms of the scope and displacement of money generated. You have a significantly higher percentage of independent or private ownership than you would for other industry groups that are dealing with this volume of money. Because not so much that private equity doesn't come in, because it does, and institutional players do come in, but institutional players, by the very nature of their rules, by the time they are able to invest, often operators and ownership don't want their investment. It is, you can get cheaper money at higher prices or enjoy the cash flow benefits. And this is where the real estate portion comes in, which is very important. Real estate in of itself, if you own the real estate, that is so valuable.
Right.
You often in Manhattan, it's often difficult or unnecessary to sell because you can always refinance it and take out some capital. And if that business is doing well, you are paying that off with the additional growth proceeds from your business. It's not actually affecting your bottom line. And you still have the real estate, which genuinely for the past 15 years have appreciated at a very steady 6-7% annually. And there's no reason why anyone would think that was going to annualize simply because Manhattan is so small. Luxury hotels, especially luxury hotels, across the United States, average occupancy rate is about 60%. Average daily occupancy rate across the hotels for the year in ultra luxury hotels.
Sure.
In Manhattan, it's 90%.
Oh,
So that's and that's including that, and that doesn't include the fact that people have options in Brooklyn, have options in Queens, have options in Jersey, Airbnbs, and yet in Manhattan it's 90%.
Ashay,
So,
we are coming up on time here though, Ashay. Where can folks go if maybe they are in the Manhattan area, they may be looking at deals themselves and maybe have a deal that they'd like you to take a look at, or if they're in the greater Manhattan area and they'd like to reach out to you, get in contact with you?
I can be reached. Best thing for me, I guess, will be to reach through email, and that's at Hope Washington Hotels, or just email, which is just my name at hopewashingtonhotels.com. And obviously, anyone can always come into the restaurant. So Skinos NYC, so that's SKINOS NYC, and they can come in at any time for a drink. Myself or partners, someone's always there in the evenings. If you're coming in to talk business, you might not get an investment, but you'll probably get a free drink. So we can take it from there.
Ashay, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.